Attention. Welcome to the Different Spectrums podcast. We dive into the wild world of mental health discussions. Get ready for profound talks, a sprinkle of humor and sarcasm, and a touch of colorful language. Just a quick heads up, our show reflects our individual opinions, which may not align with the standpoint of the podcast, our featured guests, or any related corporate entities. Our mission? To illuminate through laughter and satire because everyone needs a good chuckle. Chill out and don't stress over the small stuff. Legal troubles? No, thank you. Cancel culture? Please spare us. We'd rather keep this space lawsuit free. So buckle up, have a good time, and join us as we navigate the vibrant realm of mental health on the Different Spectrums podcast. Hey everybody, we back again.
We back and we're live.
Very, very smooth there. I'm Spencer, and of course we have our licensed clinical therapist, Naz.
Hello, peoples. Dr. Naz.
Anyways, remember, don't take us too seriously.
Or do. It's completely up to you, piece of shit.
There we go. Okay, calm down. Don't forget to round those likes for us. We'd really appreciate it. Shout out to Twink Toys, one of our great affiliates for the program.
Yep.
You can get up to 10% off your entire order if you use the code DSP or DSP10 down in the link below. So go do that.
Great toys, right?
Yes.
I mean, I got 3 of them in my butt now.
It's going to be that kind of pod. Yep. Butt jokes. Nice. Go check out Toink Toys. They don't have butt toys. All right. So
technically anything is a butt toy.
You just kept it good. You just kept it good. Okay, so as you can see, we have a guest for today. This is going great. Our special guest, they have a background in school psych, as well as she is an executive functioning coach. Please welcome Jessica to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
After that intro, she's like, wait a minute.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I don't want to be here right now. Anyways, thank you for coming on to the show. We'll dive a little bit deeper into who you are after the intro. So today, as you can see, we are going to be touching on the movie. Yes, right there. Some things that we're going to be talking about is existential therapy, guiding someone through their journey. We're also going to be talking about duality, as well as conflicting viewpoints. We'll also have some other topics. But yeah, so Naz, anything before we get into the show?
I got a feeling this might be a longer podcast today just because there's so much material that me, Jessica, and Spencer have talked about. We are going to have some fun in this because I feel like this is a love-hate movie. I feel like everyone kind of holds that for the entire movie, which is fine. I think there's a lot of satire in it and a lot of humor in it, obviously, but then there's some legit real points that need to be talked about and like therapized. So I'm excited to do that. Obviously, we're going to be talking about a lot of women's issues, but also some men's issues that come up because we're going to be talking about Ken. And the big moral of the story for everyone is identity. Who am I? I don't know who I am. And it's just like the wonderful song at the end. And we're going to get into it. So I'm excited for today. We're going to have some fun. You know, bear with us. Those of you that love us as a podcast, you know, we buckle in. Buckle it up.
Make sure your seatbelts are fastened.
Right. Wrap it up. Okay. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Jessica, say whoop, whoop.
Oh, it's like, what is this? Whoop, whoop. Yeah. Well, now it seems really natural.
Thank you for appropriating our whoop, whoop, you bastard.
Yeah, yes. Appropriator.
Colonialism. All right.
Oh my God.
Oh my god, I was born white, I'm sorry.
It's fine. Oh my God. Don't say that in the
White,
pod.
white.
Shame. Shame.
Shame.
Jesus Christ.
Way to be white.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm keeping all that in there. All right.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
get to the
okay.
show.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's me, a Spencer, and I'm here to talk about our longtime collaborator, Cure Hydration. Cure is a premium hydrating electrolyte drink mix made with organic coconut water and pink Himalayan salt with no sugar added. It contains 4 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. My go-to flavor is grapefruit, but if you're not into that, you can go and get their variety pack with 8 different flavors to sample. Go to curehydration.com or go to our link tree and use the code DSP20 to get 20% off your entire order today.
Fix them?
You're stereotypical Barbie, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Ken of yours, he is one nice-looking little protein pot.
I guess.
I'd like to see what kind of nude blob he's packing under those jeans. Anyway, what preceded this?
Oh, nothing. A really fun game of volleyball.
That's it?
Thoughts of death.
What is?
Maybe some thoughts of death?
Thoughts of death!
Is that a problem?
Oh,
What?
I've heard of this. Of course, I didn't think it was possible, but it's real. Oh, you've done it. You've opened a portal.
I didn't open a portal.
Someone did. And now there is a rift in the continuum that is the membrane between Barbie land and the real world. And if you want to be stereotypical Barbie perfect again, then baby girl, you gotta go fix it. If you're gonna keep going funny, look at your upper thigh.
What is that?
That's cellulite. That's gonna spread everywhere. And then you're gonna start getting sad and mushy and complicated.
No! What do I have to do?
You have to go to the real world. And you have to find the girl who's playing with you.
Playing with me.
We're all being played with, babe. But usually there's some kind of separation of things. There's the girl and the doll, and never the twain shall cross.
The train is crossing?
Yes, and the girl who's playing with you, she must be sad, and her thoughts and feelings and humanness are interfering with your dullness.
Why would she be sad? We fixed everything so that all women in the real world can be happy and powerful.
I don't know, but if you ask me, you had something to do with this too.
Me?
Takes 2 to rip a portal.
I can't have. I've only ever wanted for everything to stay exactly as it is.
Well, be that as it may, the two of you are becoming inextricably intertwined. And you gotta help her to help yourself.
So should I? Ooh!
So, what'll it be then? You can go back to your regular life and forget any of this ever happened? Or you can know the truth about the universe. The choice is now yours.
The first one. The high heel.
No. We'll do a redo. You're supposed to want to know.
I don't.
Babe, listen. You have to want to know, okay? Do it again.
I'm not adventure Barbie. I'm stereotypical Barbie. I'm like the Barbie you think of when someone says, think of a Barbie. That's me.
I'm bummed. You're a bummer. That's a bummer.
Okay. I'm ready to forget now.
No, you're doing this one. I just gave you a choice so you could feel some sense of control.
So there is no option one?
no, you have to fix the rip yourself. Don't blame me. Blame Mattel. They make the rules.
I don't want to.
Fine, get cellulite. I don't care.
No. Okay. Send me through the portal.
Okay, there's actually no portal. It's a figure of speech. It's actually a sports car, to a speedboat, to a rocket ship, to a tandem bike, to a camper van, fun, to a snowmobile, brrr, which will take you most of the way to the state of Los Angeles, where you will don neon and rollerblades and enter the country of California. Weird, I know. Best if you don't think about it too much.
And then when I get there, how do I find this girl?
You will know.
Okay. And how do I get back?
The same way you came, but in reverse.
Like I should move forward, but do the order backward or
Don't
forward,
overthink it.
backward? Oh, okay.
For you see, if you do not find her and fix things, what's ugly will become uglier, and what's weird will become weirder. And then you look like me.
Ah! Oh! Sorry.
I understand. I set myself up for that. Anyway, I believe in you.
Thank you.
Go, be careful. I love you.
Bye.
Bye. That's Barbie, of course. She's not dead, she's just having an existential crisis.
Okay, come on. Hey, what's wrong?
I'm not pretty anymore.
What? You're so pretty.
I'm not stereotypical Barbie pretty.
Note to the filmmakers, Margot Robbie is the wrong person to cast if you want to make this point.
You're beautiful.
It's not just that. I'm not smart enough to be interesting.
You're so smart.
I can't do brain surgery. I've never flown a plane. I'm not the president. No one on the Supreme Court is me. I'm not good enough for anything.
It is literally impossible to be a woman. You are so beautiful and so smart, and it kills me that you don't think you're good enough. Like, we have to always be extraordinary. But somehow we're always doing it wrong. Like, you have to be thin, but not too thin. And you can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but also you have to be thin. You have to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. You have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas. You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't talk about your kids all the damn time. You have to be a career woman, but also always be looking out for other people. You have to answer for men's bad behavior, which is insane, but if you point that out, you're accused of complaining. You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women, because you're supposed to be a part of the sisterhood, but always stand out and always be grateful. But never forget that the system is rigged, so find a way to acknowledge that, but also always be grateful. You have to never get old, never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line. It's too hard, it's too contradictory, and nobody gives you a medal or says thank you. And it turns out, in fact, that not only are you doing everything wrong, but also everything is your fault. I'm just so tired of watching myself and every single other woman tie herself into knots so that people will like us. And if all of that is also true for a doll, just representing a woman, then I don't even know.
Wait. I did write a book. It's like I've been in a dream where I was somehow really invested in the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. But what you said broke me out of it.
Really?
Yeah.
You're back. She's back.
By giving voice to the cognitive dissonance required to be a woman under the patriarchy, you robbed it of its power.
Yes.
Wow, I just said all of that.
Hell yes, white savior Barbie!
No, it was your mom. Your mom did the saving. We have to stop the Kens. And you need to say all of those things to the other Barbies. That's the key.
Got it.
But how are we gonna get the Barbies away from their Kens?
We have experience with a world like this one.
Do you have a map of Barbie Land?
What are you?
Just give us a minute. Ken? Are you okay?
Yeah, totally.
It's okay if you're crying. Yeah, I cried too. It's actually kind of amazing.
I'm a liberated man. I know crying's not weak.
Okay. You want to sit up for a minute?
Yeah. This, it was hard writing stuff. I didn't love it.
I get it.
And those mini fridges are so small. You can only fit a 6-pack in them, and the freezers are basically useless. To be honest, when I found out that patriarchy wasn't about horses, I lost interest anyway.
That's okay.
I always thought this would be our house.
Oh. Ken, I think I owe you an apology.
Huh?
I'm really sorry I took you for granted.
Oh.
Not every night had to be girls' night.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
Oh, I didn't mean to suggest,
I just don't know who I am without you.
you're Ken.
But it's Barbie and Ken. There is no just Ken. That's why I was created. I only exist within the warmth of your gaze. Without it, I'm just another blonde guy who can't do flips.
Maybe it's time to discover who Ken is.
Okay, I think I get it now.
No. This isn't the answer.
I feel so stupid. No. I look so stupid. I look so stupid! Oh, no! You look so cool!
Okay, Ken, you have to figure out who you are without me.
Why?
You're not your girlfriend. You're not your house. You're not your mink.
Beach?
Nope, you're not even Beach. Maybe all the things that you thought made you you aren't really you. Maybe it's Barbie and it's Ken.
Ken is me?
Yes.
Ken is me.
And I'm Barbie.
Ken is me.
Ken is me!
Ken is me.
Ken is me!
Yeah.
I don't even care about being Ken anymore. I just miss my friend Barbie!
That's cool.
Barbie!
Ken! I want you to have it.
Oh, that's nice.
We were only fighting because we didn't know who we were.
Ken is
I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do now. I've always been stereotypical Barbie, and I don't think I'm really good at anything else.
You saved Barbie land from patriarchy.
That was very much a group effort.
And you helped that mother and daughter connect.
They really helped each other.
Maybe you're self-effacing, Barbie?
Maybe I'm not Barbie anymore.
You understand that humans only have one ending. Ideas live forever. Humans not so much. You know that, right?
I do.
Being a human can be pretty uncomfortable.
I know.
Humans make things up like patriarchy and Barbie just to deal with how uncomfortable it is.
I understand that.
And then you die.
Yeah. Yeah. be a part of the people that make meaning, not the thing that's made. I want to do the imagining. I don't want to be the idea. Does that make sense?
I always knew that Barbie would surprise me, but I never expected this.
Do you give me permission to become human?
You don't need my permission.
But you're the creator. Don't you control me?
I can't control you any more than I could control my own daughter. I named you after her, Barbara, and I always hoped for you, like I hoped for her. We mothers stand still so our daughters can look back to see how far they've come.
So being human's not something I need to ask for or even want? I can just... It's something that I just discover I am?
I can't in good conscience let you take this leap without you knowing what it means. Take my hand. Now, close your eyes. Now, feel.
I used to float, now I just fall down. I used to know, but I'm not sure now what I was made for. What was I made for? 'Cause I don't know how to feel, but I wanna try. I don't know how to feel, but someday I might. Someday I might.
Yes.
Hey everyone, I'm here to talk about our new collaborator, Toink Toys. They have a wide selection of, you guessed it, toys and other great collectibles. They have products from Marvel, Star Wars, Harry Potter, and everything pop culture. You could say they put the toy in Toink. So go check them out at toink.com and use our code Different Spectrums Podcast to get 10% off your entire order today. We back again.
We back and we're live. This is live as all of us want Barbie to be right now. Good Lord. Good Lord. That Lord.
Right.
Also,
She's not
Ken.
a real person.
Did you see Ken's abs?
I mean, Ryan Gosling, that man works out for his roles. I tell you.
I'm trying to tell you. They look like the bread you get and it's buttered at the store. It's just like the little rolls.
Only your fat ass is going to talk about fucking
the dinner.
buttered rolls.
It looked like
right
a
now.
buttered dinner roll.
Oh, buttered dinner roll. What are you talking about? What is happening?
All I know is everyone in this fucking show makes me hungry. Am I a cannibal? I'm a cannibal now.
Yeah, I think so. I think you see people as food, which is not a good sign for anything.
I'm gonna wear them.
Oh my God. And I'm tucked. All right, here we go. So, like I said in the beginning, we have a special guest, Jessica. First things first, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you come onto the show?
So, So I'm Jessica. That's
Hello.
the first fact of the day.
Nice to meet
Um,
you.
um, I am so I've been in the mental health field for a long time, like 10 plus ish years.
Okay.
I started out working in the group home, like residential setting, working with families and kids who are like temporarily separated due to like family traumas and things like that. And I was like, um, working on like our program helped reunify the families to their children. And I loved that so much. It was like, oh, such an amazing experience. And that's what made me realize I wanted to work with that kind of population, like people who are, I guess, like emotionally fragile, like trauma histories, things like that. Um, and then after that, I went back to school, got my master's in school psych. And then I got a job as a school psychologist in a therapeutic school for high schoolers. And what else did I do? And then on the side, I started doing executive function coaching. And I absolutely loved it because I've what I realized from doing it was that like I could see my clients in like a short period of time like take action and get real concrete results. And that's like why I was like toying with like, do I want to do therapy? And then like I didn't even know coaching existed until I got into it. And I just loved like the pragmatic, like practical application, like skill building, and like actually seeing like these big changes. So I loved it. And I started with kids and now I work with people across the lifespan. And I really love working with adults too. And I recently left my school to do it full time.
Okay.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
So if you could you explain to our audience what an executive function coach like is and kind of what their role is with like their patients or clients that you see?
Yeah. So an executive functioning coach is um hard to explain. I'm not gonna lie. It's
Okay.
something I'm
All
like
right.
trying to figure out how to
All right.
explain in a way that people understand. But
Okay.
I will say that like school psychology training is exactly aligned with executive function coaching
Okay.
in that coaching so like executive functions are a like complex set of mental processes in our brains,
Mhm.
and they allow us to like plan ahead, set goals, achieve goals, follow through with the things that we want to do, make decisions, like all of the like manage our lives essentially.
Right.
So as an executive functioning coach, I work with people who are like feeling like, they're super stressed out, super overwhelmed, feeling like they're like losing their stuff all the time, are like struggling to be on time to like where they're supposed to be and just like don't feel in control of their lives.
Mhm.
And ADHD can be associated with like an executive functioning deficit, autism as well, anxiety, depression, all these things like um interfere with executive functioning, I guess I can say.
Yep.
Um, and I work with my clients to sort of like use their executive functioning skills and recognize like what are their executive functioning strengths and weaknesses, and I teach them how to leverage their strengths to be able to actually like accomplish the goals that they set for themselves.
Okay.
I don't know if that does that explain it?
Yeah.
Does very much so.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Um, so kind of go back to our movie of the day, right? Movie of the day. What made you want to actually pick out Barbie to talk about?
So I feel like Barbie is a fun one.
Yeah.
Like Nas said before, it's like a love-hate movie. It's like and almost like you love that you hate it. It's like I love the like girly stuff, and
Yeah.
but also I just want to like throw up on it. You know what I mean? Like
Hey, I don't know.
I love you so much.
Hey,
I don't know how else to explain it.
no, that's fine. I technically they had picked like Dead to Me, and I was like, well, we already did that. And they said, well, your Excel sheet said to pick something from the. I'm like, God damn, I didn't update it yet. The executive functioning isn't the best.
You think that we're gonna update things? We have
Oh.
ADHD, so
Yeah.
we can't focus. The fuck.
Wait, yeah. So, okay, I didn't know you wanted me to tell the truth there. So, cross out what I just said and then just go with his answer.
You know, white women, 2024, white women be lying.
Yeah.
We just caught you in a lie, white woman.
Oh my God, Spencer. Oh my God. I don't know why that's so funny. Just the way that you said it.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
All right. Well, yeah, no. And I think that this is going to actually be some good topics and good conversation, especially with Barbie as a whole. I think it's going to be good.
I do have one thing. I did DM them because a lot of their memes I end up liking all the time and their reels and videos. And so I was like, yo, you're a funny person. Can you talk? Do you talk good? Yeah, no. And they're like, sure, I'll do it. And I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? Real quick, Jessica, did you actually watch any of our pods before this, or did you come in completely blind?
No, I watched and I listened.
Which one did you watch? I wonder.
Yeah.
So I can't remember which one I watched because all of the ones that I watched or listened to were movies that I've never heard of. So like it didn't stick. I know I watched the Marlon Wayans or the Wayans, one of the Wayans brothers movie.
Was it just the Wayne's World?
No, Blank Man.
Oh, Blank Man. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, you just watched that.
Yeah, you just watched it.
Yeah. Yeah, I did just I just watched that one.
Okay.
And then something else. I was like not focused on the movies. I was focused on like the people and like listening to their answers. So
completely fine.
The titles. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that you watch Dr. Funnies. They are wonderful Black female therapists, and their page is like magnificent. And so if you don't already follow her, then I would advise you follow her. I'm sure you do because everyone does.
Yeah. I probably do, but yeah, no, I'll check.
She's awesome. Okay, I just want to make sure you're prepped. But yeah, Spence, you got any more questions?
I mean, what made you want to start doing more memes on your account than like the other type of content that you can do on social media?
I feel like you're confusing me with someone else because I don't do memes.
What? I thought their page was a bunch of reels.
No, unless I don't know what memes are.
You do like Sunday self-reflection questions. So the week ahead and stuff.
Wait a minute.
Those aren't memes, are they?
Yeah, I mean,
wait a minute.
I mean, they're...
Am I doing the wrong person, man?
Jesus.
Am I thinking of the wrong person? I'm definitely thinking of the wrong person.
Oh, thank God you're thinking of the wrong person. I was like, do I not know what I'm posting?
Oh my God. Sorry. Super pause. I get my white women mixed up now.
Yeah, that's fair. And your white men.
You know, they all no.
Yeah,
okay.
That's a blunder on us both.
Yeah, Spencer, you're supposed to.
I swear. Self-reflection question. I thought those are memes. I don't know.
Spencer, you idiot. No, they post all psychoeducation.
It's more advice.
It's all psychoeducation and advice. No. So this is why I was interested in your page, because of the high impact on education. I've made some comments and reposts from your page specifically. So I booked 2 people back to back. The other one was the meme person. You are all the psychoed that I really loved, and the art and like just how easy it is and attractive it is, right? It's very pleasing to the eye. So that's why I also wanted to reach out to you. I've seen you on here and I was like, yep, we're going to talk. Sorry about that.
That's
like,
okay.
She's like, am I doing memes? No, you're not doing memes. You're actually like intelligent.
No, I actually, it's funny that you say that because I love comedy and all I do is listen to comedy podcasts, but I haven't really figured out a way to make my like professional presence funny because I'm afraid of,
Correct.
like we were talking about before, getting in trouble for things that I say because I could say a lot of things,
Yep.
Okay.
so I don't say
Hey,
them.
Hey,
that's all right.
what do you got to say there? No, I'm joking.
What
What do you mean, you
wanna say?
people?
I didn't like them. What?
What?
No,
Jesus. Sorry, those are not her words.
You know who. So-
I again apologize. I got you mixed up with one
Yeah,
other
no.
person. I'm sorry.
that's totally fine.
But she was definitely the dead to me person. I know that.
All right, whatever you say. Whatever
That's
you say.
true.
I don't believe
That's
nothing. Well, all right. Anyways, let's get to the movie.
I
do it.
picked the show, but with 2 white women.
Yeah. Well, and then you do Barbie.
And then I do Barbie. I know. I was thinking, I was like, did he ask me to do Barbie because I'm white?
No, I asked you to do Barbie because the other white woman that was supposed to do it dropped out.
She can fill in. She has the same viewpoints.
She feels white enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I told you I
She's-
can say things.
She's slightly ambiguous, but you know what? Well, it counts. It counts.
It counts. She won the good
All
ones.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
All
continue.
right. Anyways, let's get into the movie. Okay, so first thing that we do, it's a scene between because Barbie is having these thoughts of death, and she goes to see Weird Barbie to see what's going on, and she's now faced with a choice. Either she can live the life she's always lived and just be in denial, pretty much, or she can try to find out the truth and then become enlightened through the whole situation. It's like we said in the pre-production, it's like a red pill, blue pill type thing, Which one do you want? Do you want to live the life you've always lived and keep on staying where you are, or do you want to know the truth of everything? And yeah, so kind of going off of this scene, I guess, what are the truths that as therapists or as coaches that you kind of you have to ask your clients to order them to actually, bring up that truth that's kind of deep down, even though they might not want to hear it at that moment. Or in other words, what are your techniques to try and get people to say their truths, to get them to get to that point where they actually want to say it and they're not, totally forced to do it?
All right, me. So what I do is I reflect back what I'm hearing them say, and it kind of, I'm not a very, I don't have a very like, I have a very gentle approach, but I am direct in sort of like calling people out on the things that they're doing and saying. And when there's like a lot of procrastination or avoidance or denial, I do point it out just by like gently by summarizing, like, okay, you just said this statement combined with this contradictory statement. Like, do you think that makes sense? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just kind of bringing it to their attention.
Yeah, like, hey, this is what you said, but it doesn't technically align with the goals or the purpose of us being here in therapy or in the coaching. And so what's going on or what's impeding your progress? And so, right, some people don't necessarily that they're getting in their own way until they start speaking it out loud with someone, because then you start to see those pitfalls. I think in here, where I was shooting at with this scene, right, is that red pill, blue pill. Do you pick the high heel, or do you pick like what's that shoe called?
Burke.
Them Birkenstocks or Birkenstocks?
Yeah, Birkenstocks. Yeah,
is the white shoe of America.
it's true.
So true.
It's definitely
It's definitely white. So
yeah.
what do you choose? It's tough for a lot of people, and a lot of people like to kind of stay in that ignorance because it's like super easy. It's really easy to stay in that place of like suffering, pain, anxiety. And we're like, well, no, it's not easy to stay there. It really is, because changing is hard. Making differences in your life is hard. Eating healthy is hard. Who has time for that? Who has the money for that? Exercising is hard. Who has the energy for that? Who wants to go through that physical pain? Going to therapy is hard. The emotions are tough. Making your life better is always hard. And I think sometimes you have to question, why did they show up to your office? So like, what brings you here? Like the other day I had to ask someone, so we did the intake, and then like a couple of weeks later, I'm like, so run me back. Why the hell are we even here again? Like, what are you doing in my office? Why are you here? And they're like, what? What was the point and goal of our therapy? Because I remember I got a lot of background information, but I don't really know what to do with any of it, which rarely happens with me. And it, for them, was more about like self-discovery and kind of figuring out what was getting in the way of their intimacy issues with other folks, whether it be men or women, doesn't really matter. This is okay. So now that we recentered back on the goal, then we bring it back to their week, and then how was it going, engaging with others? Were they being avoidant? Were they not showing up on time? Were they not responding to text messages? Were they avoiding difficult conversations? And so we talk about what's the hesitancy and what's it about. So sometimes it's, again, the question and recentering back to the whole reason why they're in your office. Mm-hmm. I ain't about to waste your money. Jessica ain't about to waste your money. Like, when I get clients that don't want to really do the work, I'm like, if I don't like want to work with you anymore, because if I don't see any progress, or at least effort, then I start to get kind of down too. And if I feel down, I'm not going to be effective in therapy. So I brought this up because also I think it's just fun to talk about is how avoidant she was. She's like, what do you want? She's like, the high heel.
Yeah.
What? No. No, the high heel. And I'm like, she's like, God damn it, there ain't no other choice. This is the choice.
Yes.
Well, I feel like in coaching, at least, or probably in therapy too, it's not like that. It's not so binary. Like, you can sort of like take your client through the tiny steps to face reality. It doesn't have to be like this or that. Choose right now. Because I feel like that's happened a lot, because my clients will be like, tell me indirectly that they don't want to face it yet. And if they're not ready, then we don't, as long as they know that they're choosing not to face it yet.
Correct. And what will get them to closer to the area where they could face it? Dude, me as a therapist, like, I identified with Weird Barbie so much, dude. I'm like, I've never been more seen by like 40-year-old white women than ever. Like, I identify as an old white woman.
Different. You said that multiple. You either say you're an old black woman or you're a middle-aged white woman.
Middle-aged white woman, or like a 14-year-old white girl.
I haven't heard that one. That must be new. Okay.
Well, that's the one that likes to gossip, I like the tea. I like the tea.
Did you hear about Rebecca? Did you hear about her?
She's a hooey.
Oh my God. Jesus.
That's not me. That's your
14-year-old you.
Yes, correct. Oh, what did he say from Split? That's Patricia.
Oh my
God. The horrible intrusive thought me is like, what pill you want? So Barbie. Women, get the drugs too. They should be able to have the drug. Why didn't they use pills? Why they use shoes? So much for feminism. You know what I'm saying? And women can be masculine too.
Is a pill manly? Is that what we're going for here?
You want hormonal birth control, not hormonal birth control.
Oh my God.
What?
Exactly. That's exactly what I have to go through every day. Thank you. Thank you, Jessica.
Jessica's like, no.
Wrong.
Whenever I do that voice, I'm just being an idiot.
Yeah.
I know.
He does the voice a lot.
I do. I just love the representation of what the two things actually stood for. And how you can do that in therapy with like so many different visuals with folks that are on the spectrum, or just very good at visualizations, creative writers, artists, musicians, is using these tactics, and also being a super kooky and kind of weird sometimes is super validating, because you might have those lived experiences. We always talk about that, me and Spence. And I don't think that you always have to be perfect or centered around professionalism to get your client to the place that they need to be. And Weird Barbie to me is like legit a superhero. I've always loved her and all her comic stuff and all the weird. She's always been weird. And I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
So that was my piece on that. I got something in here too about that Jessica brought up in the pre-production was these two identities. So you said you Jessica earlier, you can only be the black or the white, or the one or the other. And there's a lot of gray area. So what is this? What were you talking about with that when it comes women can only be one or the other?
Well, I didn't say black or white. You're adding that now.
You know.
So nothing about color.
You know, she's segregationist.
I know.
Segregationist.
She said, them and them.
I never said that. No, but the that's like a real thing, like the Birkenstock versus the heel, because that's like a thing. Like certain women wear Birkenstocks and that makes them one thing, and certain women wear heels and that makes them another thing. And it's just like the idea that women are defined, like that our identity is not what's the word?
Complex.
That it's like, yeah, that it's not complex and nuanced, and that also like pitting women against each other with these two like binary like opposite extremes.
What would be the
At least that's
stereotype for the Birkenstock thing? What's the stereotype for that?
I mean, I don't know. Should I be saying that?
I mean, you could say a stereotype. I'm
Yeah,
not saying you believe it.
Yeah, it's just
Well, it's like a stereotype for like a person that wears Birkenstocks is like someone who's like a like I'm so scared. Like a tomboy, which I don't think you're allowed to say that word anymore.
no, you can say
Oh,
that. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
okay. And then the heel is like obvious. We know what the heel is. But wait, what? You don't know about Birkenstocks?
I just thought, I didn't think it had anything to do with like masculinity. I thought it was mostly about, you know, just being like super comfortable and casual. I thought I'd seen like all versions of women wear them. I didn't really know it had anything to do with like being like this femininity thing.
Well, I might be putting that on it
Oh,
because of like maybe where I'm from and what I've seen and who wears what.
Yeah.
I don't know if they mean to do that in the film, but it's definitely like one is super feminine and the other one is like super plain. Like, so like you can either be like plain
Casual.
Jane or yeah.
that makes more sense. Okay. It's interesting. So Barbie's like, I want the heel, even though that's like staying in her current reality and purgatory. But it's also super like high maintenance and like perfect and a hard standard to live to. Or the other thing you think would be much more comfortable, but technically in this movie it gets it backwards. I would assume that all individuals wear both, right? You can do one, you can do the other. Or no, can't. No. Explain. Explain.
I just like
explain women.
What are they?
in terms of like fashion. So okay, so I'm gonna put this on somebody else. So I saw an episode of Modern Family. Do you know Modern Family?
Yes, we do.
When Alex wears the Birkenstocks and
Okay.
Haley makes fun of her for wearing Birkenstocks and says like she has no style or that she's a lesbian or whatever.
Jesus.
And then Haley and Alex are sort of like the two shoes. Like Haley is the heel and Alex is the Birkenstock. And like I'm not saying that that's actually a rule, but I think that's like what it's like in the air.
There you go.
Like a societal rule. That's just in there. That's just out there.
Yep.
It's just out there.
Yeah, it's the way we see things. Kind of like on Wednesday from Netflix, right? You've got her and everyone identifies as, right, the more sullen, more avoidant, more dark humor, right? Neurodivergent autistic. Then you got the other neurodivergent autistic is very bright, pink, rainbow colors, out there, sociable. You've got those two realities. But this one's within the shoe game. There you go.
I feel like there's a lot to this, like, 'cause this makes me think of, like, high functioning anxiety and, like, OCD perfectionism too, with, like, you look a certain way on the outside, and it's very important to you to, like, maintain order and, like, beauty and just, like, have this outward appearance of looking perfect, but on the inside, you look like a Birkenstock. No,
Hey,
I'm just kidding.
well, in reality, we all want to probably be that is more chill, relaxed,
Right.
comfortable. Um, but in actuality, we have to put on this persona because we don't know who we are, and we're trying to mask it most of the time, or we're trying to be seen
Yeah.
in a certain light, which this movie is perfect, no cellulite, no weird stuff.
Yeah.
Barbie. Cool. I'm glad that we did bring that up and that you brought up the different dualities. Um, it's nice to know that you are a shoe snob.
Yeah, I'm the shoe snob. Yeah.
Hey, hey. We wear sneakers over here, so we don't know.
Yeah, I don't
We
know.
don't know. I mean, I guess it's kind of like, wearing Jordans or something and compared to like a dress shoe
Yeah.
for guys, right? Kind of like that, right?
Yep.
Little, they're different. They're different. And, one one's gonna get you a job and one's not. All right. So
Yeah, one's gonna get you a job, the other one's gonna. I'm not even gonna go there.
okay, well, there you go. Anyways, to the next scene.
One's gonna get you child support. So
All right.
next
I'm
scene.
gonna silence for that joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on. So now, um, so throughout the whole movie, the Kens have been taking over, um, trying to rule with patriarchy, uh, as you know, as they do with talking about the Godfather and talking about horses.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Didn't know that was a thing, but I guess it is. I guess it is. I'm in a different world, I guess. Um, and so now in this scene, talking about fear of change, because Barbie's just so used to being like the pretty one, just being doesn't she thinks that she is not worth enough because she thinks she's not smart enough. She doesn't think that she's all these different things, and so she's having that crisis of who she is and trying to find that out. It mixes well with the Ken scene, also with him trying to figure out who he is as well. So they're both kind of having, all of them are having that dilemma, not knowing exactly who they are. Um, I guess Jessica, when you talk to like your clients and stuff, and especially when you're trying to get them to change their ways, that's probably like a very difficult process because people just don't like changing. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, change is scary. What I like to do is I try to make it less scary. Like, we always start with, like, you're already doing so many things well. Like, let's start from where you are already doing the things that maybe you don't realize that you're doing things well, but you are. Like, you already have strategies, you already have resources at your disposal, you already have strengths. I'm just here to, like, help you expand on those things, not like change who you are, if that makes sense.
It
Like,
does.
because
Yeah.
it's just like you can be you. Like, you're not changing who you are, you're just changing habits. And like, I kind of try to make it like more digestible for them, for like breaking it down that way.
What really stuck out to you about this scene? And this was one of the ones that you were like, yeah, let's do this one. What was it about this one that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. So, there's so much to this. I think just like the idea that like they don't know who they are or Ken doesn't know who he is independent of Barbie. It really made me think of like codependency and like how our identities get wrapped up in like who like what people think of us and how we're like defined by others, and like we lose sight of who we even are, like our core selves. Um, Yeah, there's like so much. Yeah. And Ken is like saying what it's like reverse world, right? So he's like saying, I only exist in the under like the warmth of your gaze, because I
Hmm.
think they're trying to say like that's how women feel. They only exist with like a man appreciating them or
Yeah.
whatever. But I think that that's not just women. I think that's all people. I
Yes.
think we all feel like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Like
And
burnt.
also, I want
Go
to.
ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Mm.
I like. I also want to say, like, I think when sometimes we're in relationships, we also kind of lose our own identities because we think that we either have to conform to each partner and what they believe in and stuff like that, just so that we can make a relationship work. And so I think sometimes we don't hold our own independence in relationships, and then we lose sight of who we are. And then once that relationship ends, then that you have to go find yourself again, depending on especially how long you've been together and stuff like that. Is this really who I am, or was that just me when I was with them? And I think we see that in both scenes. It's just like, am I really enough without this person? Or am I
Mm.
really enough without having all these other, attributes too? I think that's also something that conveys in this scene as well.
You're right. I mean, both of them. So in this one where right, she's talking, she said, I don't feel pretty anymore. And they're like, well, this is probably the wrong person to say that I don't feel pretty anymore. Cause right,
Yeah.
good Lord.
Oh no, sweet Jesus.
Sweet old Jesus. Like you made them look like this, and then I look like this. Fuck you.
Pretty much everybody in Australia is looking good. This is how it is.
Is it?
Look at Hugh Jackman.
It's the water. It's the water.
Yep, it's all the spiders. Like you have to look good to fend them off.
Exercise. Um, but right, you're right. When you said that about Ken, it's like under your gate, I have to have you look at me. But also, she's always thinking about I need to be pretty and perfect and look at me as well. So even though it's a reverse world, they're both under that guise or gaze of this facade of perfectionism, thinness, beauty, symmetry, aesthetics.
Yeah.
And who are you outside of that? So again, we come back to identity. If your identity is simply just a pretty thin one, then what happens if you get sick and you gain a little bit of weight? What happens during pregnancy? What happens as you get older and your body changes and metabolism changes?
Yeah.
What happens when you lose your hair if you're Ken and you got male pattern balding? What happens when you lose that identity? And so this whole scene here and the whole entire movie is about identity. And if you got everything in one pot, what happens when that's gone? Go ahead.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, you're just making me think. That's why like I feel like it's important for us to have multiple identities and not have everything in one pot. Like I've had the issue of like having everything be around work and career
Yep.
and not having anything else. And I had to be like, okay, I need to like find a hobby. And I tell my clients too, like, it's important for you to go to dance classes, go play basketball, go, like that is just as important because you don't want to pour your whole entire being into one thing or one person or just one area of life because that can like I feel like lead to depression.
Depression, it can lead to abuse, it can lead to not setting boundaries, it can lead to massive what happens when you get burned out with that thing? As neurodivergent individuals, ADHD individuals, anxious individuals, we tend to like get really focused on one thing. And if your one thing is like how you sustain your money and life force, so like, what are we doing now?
Yeah,
you're right. Identity is very complicated and it needs to be very well-rounded if you're lucky and privileged enough to be able to do that and afford that physically, mentally, and financially. But I obviously understand we're all speaking from privilege here. But identity, complicated thing. Which, what makes me think about here, and I think we can all be sad for the prettiest white girl in the room. It must be hard to be a gorgeous white woman. Terrible. It actually reminds me of the scene of Viola Davis when she's like the housekeeper and she's like, girl, remember, you was smart, you was kind. I'm like, that little white girl don't need more help, girl.
Yeah. Help her out. Yeah. Or when Chris Rock in The Longest Yard, you're white, smile.
You got it good. Obviously, there are some jokes in there, right? Because a lot of folks, right, still don't because of different things, abuse, trauma, financial status, making jokes. But, yes. Barbie, you okay?
You gonna be fine. You gonna make it.
You gonna make it. You gain 10 pounds, you still gonna be prettier than me on my worst day.
No. You gain 100 pounds, still looking better.
Yeah, I know. Shit, 100.
You ain't getting all the way in the world.
Yeah, 350-pound Barbie look better than 350-pound Nas. Shit. I dated 350-pound Barbie. I dated 350-pound Nas. Yeah, fuck that motherfucker. That motherfucker, you look like you got mold. Jesus. Shout out to big boys. Hey, we're good people.
Yeah, we're good people.
We're good people. We're funny. We have emotions. Big people. When your skinny friend, boyfriend, husband cheats on you, remember you should have had a big guy.
They would have stayed.
His big ass is too hungry to be cheating.
You would have heard him leaving.
Oh my God.
I'm wrong. Okay,
no, you're fine. As big people, we self-identify as big people.
Hey, technically, I'm a fat dude, so
yeah. So
I make the quota.
He stands up and does a pirouette.
God damn.
Good Lord. All right. I guess maybe let's throw it back to Jessica on the second part of this clip, which is like the synopsis of what it is to be a woman, or what it is. Well, what's going on with this? Because, right, she's going on this dialogue and the difficulty or complexity of what it is to be an individual and to this gender.
Sorry, are we going back to the scene with America Ferrara in the weird Barbie's house?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's kind of like talking about how there's like an impossible standard that's set for women to live up to, and it's super contradictory, and it's like made it's designed in a way where women are always like spinning their wheels and they can never do enough, like be a mom but like don't talk about your kids, and like be pretty but don't talk about being pretty, and like be skinny but don't talk about being skinny, and it just is like it's overwhelming, and it makes me think of like forget what they call it, like the invisible to-do list, like the second shift for women, like they come home from work and they're still expected to do like a million different things. But I also do think that, and I maybe I'm wrong, but like I do think that has changed. Like that's a stereotypical way, but I don't think it's helpful to be like, oh, well, like women have it so hard and men don't get it and men are horrible, because I feel like that's divisive. And that's something that is hard for me in this movie, because it's hard to tell sometimes what point they're trying to make there.
Okay.
Yeah. Well pointed out. I think the same thing, and I don't want to like, pivot off of women, but I talk about the same thing when it comes to being black or brown. Specifically to my black or brown women or female identified individuals, is all the different complexities that they have to hold, and how many of them, I would say us is brown individuals, black individuals, but many of folks that are also women, this functional depression is very common, where, there's no really time with other identities, white folks, maybe it's a little bit more acceptable. You can sit in your feelings. You can be sad. You don't have to go to work. You can call off. A little bit more privilege in some things. But with other folks, it's not really a thing. You don't have the time or place. Mental health is not a thing. Resources are not a thing. And so you need to get your ass up and go get that money. You ain't got nothing to cry about. I'll give you something to cry about. And so it's this constant pressure which leads to this massive burnout and caretaking and responsibility that I see in all my clients. And right, I was doing a talk the other day with students. It was like 60 folks, all minorities in agriculture, all Black and brown identified individuals. And I could see them just nodding their heads. We're like, it's just too much. Because talking about depression, they're like, that's not us. I'm like, no, that's y'all. Many of us in this room are functionally depressed, where we keep pushing through and we feel a little bit apathetic and we're a little hostile, a little not sleeping well. It's harder to love people. It's harder to sit in empathy with your partner and your children because you're just tired. And you've always been tired. And when you start working, you're like, oh, maybe I'm good, but now there's more. Now there's housework. Now there's chores. Now there's children. Like you said, that second shift or second job. And whether there's a partner there or not doesn't really matter. It's still too much.
Right.
So when do you get to human? I have no idea when you get to human. In actuality, I don't know when any of us get to really human because all we do is fucking produce and produce and produce. Go ahead.
Now you're making me think about like societal stuff, like capitalism. Like it's a society that we live in, right? That like we're told, like we're encouraged to like churn out results all the time and produce and produce and produce, which takes us away from, what's really important in life and like what's going to make us happy and content. And yeah.
I was just gonna be real. I'm like, this is what makes us want to live and not be suicidal. When you're functionally depressed for so long and you finally get to sit down and take a break and then they're like, oh no, we got to do more. Yeah, I think it's somewhat known or common, or it's more common to be like, I don't want to do this. I didn't sign up for this. I just want to not exist. It's more of a passive ideation. But some folks would be like, this is not what I expected my life to be. I am not obviously a woman. I work with many women. And it's a tough place to be in these settings in higher ed and professionalism, specifically in STEM, because Purdue University is one of the biggest STEM science-related schools in America, let alone the world. And it's complicated to be in a setting where it's all men. Many of my clients are in kind of hostile work environments, not listened to, not heard. But if you speak up too much, then you're hostile. Black or brown folks speak up too much, now they're bitches, even more hostile. Now HR is getting called. Right now they're being, conflicting with folks, fighting with folks, aggressive with folks, where you get other folks that are white-bodied, where they might not be seen as aggressive. So even when you tie in race, which American Ferrera is, and she talks a lot about not wanting to take aggressive roles, being a Latina, because she doesn't want to fit that stereotype her whole career. She wants to do more educational roles, educated roles, professional roles, right? She wants to get away from that, which is good. But also when you take race and gender, it gets very complex. Something that I wanted to bring up and that I work with a lot of clients, don't have the answers for it. I just know it's a fucking grind. And I have deep empathy for a lot of the clients that I work with. But saying that, there's a lot of success. And women, you're right, things are better compared to what they used to be. But there's still more progress going on. What is masculinity? What is femininity? What are these gender roles? Because they're just so, right? I mean, this Barbie movie's all fucking pink. So obviously we're saying something just with the coloring of it.
Yeah, and after listening to you, I'm realizing that I think I was looking at that as a white woman, just being honest. Like, I think that I don't know, like, I don't really know if it's better. Like, it seems okay to me because I have a lot of privilege and a lot of people don't. And even like throughout this movie, I think about like the choice to have Margot Robbie star in it as Barbie. And it's like, I think they're doing that as a satire, but it's like, aren't we just reinforcing the stereotypes doing that? Like, but, and it's like why wasn't Issa Rae in Margot Robbie's role.
I could see that.
I mean, I don't know. I don't like that kind of just like, yeah, I mean, I get it. She's stereotypical Barbie, but you're still like making the white woman win the Oscar and all that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if she did, but you get what I mean.
No. But still, sold a lot of tickets, and she's gorgeous. I guarantee there's a lot of women that looked at her as the ideal of femininity, and I guarantee you there's people that left this with some body issues. I guarantee you there's some men that left this with body issues. I just made a lot of funny jokes about Ken being gorgeous. Don't think as a big brown boy that I didn't feel like unseen, because there wasn't no big brown boys in there. There was a black dude, but there wasn't no big fluffy boys.
No.
And that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I do want to say that I feel like Ryan Gosling's abs, yes, he worked out, but I think they're drawn on. I really do.
We're gonna believe they're real. Okay.
Okay. But no, it's bad to believe they're real.
Let me have my dinner rolls, girl. Don't you smack my hand when I reach for a roll now, motherfucker.
Extra butter. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Fine, they're real.
Yeah.
Can't hear that. Just so you know.
I know you didn't hear it,
Nas
but I'm
is
just saying.
slapping his lips together.
You
like
know.
a nasty man.
You
All right.
That's the worst thing you can do is slap a fat person's hand when they reach for a roll.
They'll remember that till this day.
I'm telling you, Jessica, FYI, we found out Jessica's fatphobic. Okay. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Just kidding.
I'm just kidding. You're right, though. I think some of it was a little spray tan and like color shaded. Like I think it was a little, it looked a little different, but I'm just saying, I agree with you.
It looked a little
different. I love how Barbie's leg, when they showed the cellulite picture, definitely was not her leg.
No. It was either not her leg or they like put like some prosthetic like cellulite on there.
Yeah. I was like, girl, this ain't your leg.
Yeah, you know you ain't got no cellulite on it.
That leg was thick as hell. She
you want to see
scary.
cellulite? I'll show you some legs. That's right. Big boy over here.
That's what we call thickums.
Shout out to Dom.
You're right. I love that we're talking about this, just femininity and masculinity, just in general, these different roles. Earlier, you were a little bit worried about talking about stereotypes, but like this is why we have to talk about them, because these are the things that imprison us. Doesn't matter what shoes you wear. You should be able to wear Jordans, sneakers, dress shoes, Crocs, zoot suits from Malcolm X. I don't give a fuck what you wear. Some of my clients are furries. I don't give a fuck what you wear. We still need to make sure that we're treating everyone like a human being. And we just talked about this in the last movie with Nelson Mandela and Malcolm X. A human being. And I think we always lose sight of that with societal norms, pressures. In a movie like this that makes some fun of it, if you look in the meta of it, okay, now you understand. But if you just take it as is, then you could probably get a little gender issues here. Be like, oh, Issa Rae, still gorgeous, still very thin. And that can mess with some people, right? That can mess with some people. There's a lot of fair-skinned individuals in there. And I wasn't trying to talk a lot about race. I for sure wasn't trying to shame you at all, Jessica, about race. I just wanted to speak on my clientele that happens to be a lot of Black and brown women.
No, I'm glad you said it, because you're right. And also just like the idea of privilege, and we were talking about identities earlier, and like having like hobbies and things that you can do outside of work. And it's just like, yeah, that's not, everybody doesn't have that opportunity.
Yep.
And that's real.
It was cool that they did have one plus size Barbie, and then there's like obviously some pregnant ones. There's just disabled one in a wheelchair. I think a lot of people's like, nah, you're gonna love Alan because like he's the autistic one, and I'm like, he didn't seem that autistic.
Yeah, he's mainly just like
a side character.
Just Alan. Yeah, he's just a side. It was just Michael Cera.
I was like,
yeah, I love Michael Cera.
Michael Cera probably is autistic, but I'm just saying, like,
his character was not.
It didn't seem too spectrum.
Oh my God! Did you guys watch? Oh, I'm sorry. This is unrelated.
No, go ahead.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah. What do you want?
Did you guys watch Life and Beth? Michael Cera plays the autist Amy Schumer's real husband who has autism.
We did a podcast on it when it first came out. Spencer did not watch it because he is not a fan of them, but I did watch it. And it was
a fan of Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
I like Michael Cera.
Like I
Not
said,
Amy Schumer.
the actual show was actually pretty good. Him, because you'll like him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of Amy Schumer, she was actually supposed to be Barbie in this movie, and then I think there was like creative differences or something,
Oh, I think I did hear
and
that.
yeah, and then they're like, well, then we're gonna go with Margot Robbie instead.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
So she would have been a little bit thicker as well, right? Different beauty standards.
Yep.
Yes.
Actually, right now it's been super clickbait with her. I think she has some type of like thing going on, health issue going on, where she's gained a lot of weight. And people are like bullying her about her face because it's really puffy now. I didn't click on it because I didn't want to start getting all the spam.
Yeah.
But she's got
Amy Schumer.
some type of health issue going on, and hopefully that's okay in that. Maybe I'm being ignorant and not clicking on it. I want to click on shit these days. I'm like, oh, there goes my email. And now I signed up for ISIS somehow. So
oh my God. Jesus. How did I get in this video? Wait a minute.
Yeah. Haram.
Oh.
Oh my God. Cut that out.
I'm gonna disappear. I'm gonna disappear in my background. There it is. I'm gone.
Oh God. Okay. So as we're moving on. Yeah, again, wonderful speech. Suspense. Next one technically is the actual Ken scene. Well, why'd you want to do the Ken scene? What was up with that?
I think it's a great scene to show just different types of masculinity, right? You know, and I also think that why not get some Ryan Gosling in there? You know, get some of that butter and rolls.
What was your viewpoint of him and like him trying to take things over with like this patriarchy? Did any part of you like, yes?
I was like, take it all over. Let this end like this. Yes. We took over the real world and Barbie land. Yeah, that's right. We got it all.
We did it.
I also love the fact that like throughout the movie, it's just like these CEO and execs are like just all white guys pretty much. And nothing changes about that. Like,
No.
Nothing that didn't change at all.
No.
They're still head of Mattel. They're still doing their thing. That didn't change. Even though they're like, hey, yeah, the president and founder of Barbie, like May was a woman. And you're like, okay. Did anything else come from that? Or
No.
Oh, okay.
They
Cool.
killed her. So
Yeah. They got rid of that.
Yep.
That took a little longer than they expected, but they got her out.
They eventually got to her.
Yeah.
She didn't even evade her taxes. That was just made up to kick her out.
Yeah. They just really wanted to down kick her while she's down.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna lie, man. When he goes into the real world and he sees like how it's all like for men by men, he's like, bro. He's like, I kind of digging this. And he's like, the world is ruled by men. And I was like, shut the fuck up.
Hey, we did it.
He tells the one guy, he's like, patriarchy's pretty fucking cool. He's like, yeah. He's like, y'all are doing it really good, and or you could be doing it better. And he talks about things, and he's like, yeah, but it's more hidden now, you know.
Yeah, it's just like we're still running this.
Yep.
But you know, from over there.
I thought that was super interesting because it's like so real. Satire, so real. And then obviously he goes back to the Barbie land. Besides that, like he talks about him being what did he say? A woke man, or I'm like a new age man. What was that word that he used? I'm a confident man when he's crying.
I'm enlightened.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. I'm an enlightened male. Yeah. And so he cries, and that to me is just like magnificent. Watching him cry, saying like, "Hey, man, it's okay to cry," and she's like, "You know, it feels really good."
We say that, but then like right before that, like somebody's like, "Is he crying?" Like, what the heck? You know?
Because
still have that in there.
He runs out like super feminine.
But that's the whole thing, though. It's like Ken is like, even though he's trying to be like this manly man, it just quote unquote manly man, he's still doing it in like the Barbie way, though. or in the Ken way, right? And it's just something about it. It's it just feels like he's just forcefully trying to be like manly and be like, ah, yeah, patriarchy, we're taking over now. And then it's all just him just trying to be with Barbie all
It's
the
it.
time.
And it was
Yeah.
just a show to get her attention. And it
Yeah.
reminds me of like men and how we'll get like the cars and the chains and the clothes, or like we'll rev our engines like in high school. And even to this day, your dude's like
Right.
flying down the fucking street when you go to a pub. Like, cool, dude, you
Hey.
just hit a fucking kid. You hit a disabled lady. You feel good about
Hey,
yourself?
I did it for her.
I did it for her.
She's not even looking, but I did it for her.
You feel that engine, girl? Like, what are you talking about? Jesus.
We're in a RAV4.
Jesus.
Sure, I felt it rattle. It's
Yeah.
like from 1986, but
It just thinks of all these stupid standards that we think women are probably attracted to. And then I wonder if the women actually get tricked into being attracted to it. Like, I have no idea. Like,
I think you're making a good point about how, like, I think for men and women, a lot of times, like, we don't know. We think there are certain things that will make men attracted to us and vice versa, and those aren't really the things. So we're both like going in the wrong direction, and then we're both like unfulfilled.
couldn't say it better. Because I talk to students and they're like, I want a hot girl, but she can't never sleep with no one. And I was like, well, she's gorgeous, right? And she has the right to be like bisexual. But but I can be a man whore, but then they can't be sexual. So I'm like, where are we at with it? Well, I'm a Christian. You're a Christian that's fucking everything that walks. So how is that super Christian? I'm confused on the double standards here. I love talking to my college students because it gets so convoluted on what are they actually attracted to? What is a quality individual to be with? Doesn't matter what gender. What is a quality person to be with? Do they make you smile? Do they make you feel good? Safe, comfortable? Can you intellectualize with them? Can you be funny with them? Can you share vulnerability? Not trauma dump all the time, but share things. Do they support you? Can you bring up conflict and then not feel shit or shamed? And I think so many people don't know what a healthy relationship is because they're putting on the Barbie mask or the Ken mask.
Yeah.
And it's a tough place. And all of us have done it here. We have. I've subscribed to a lot of these things of masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
I've done the car things. I've had this badass car with rims, and I'm like, look at my car, girl. And she's probably like, no.
Yeah.
You look moldy.
Moldy. Jeez, keep saying.
You look like melted cheese on a patty.
Yeah. Yeah. Like my car, I thought when I got my car, I was like, oh no, like they're all gonna start coming after me, all the ladies. Oh, nothing but dudes just compliment me on my car. That's it.
Your car
Only
and your
dudes.
ass.
Not gonna lie, old men have said some things at the gym. Let me tell you. Wow, you're doing squats pretty well. I'm like, yes, I am, sir.
You know,
yes, I am.
He's a good looking man. In prison we do. Or wait.
Oh, Jesus. That's why I'm never going to prison.
Yeah.
Shout out to never going to prison.
So Jessica, I want to pick your brain, right, as our female correspondent.
Sure. I'm such a female. Yeah.
No. I'm such a
I don't even know what that means.
Let's just go with it.
What do you think? Pause. Better question. When you're looking for I don't want to assume things. Earlier, I think you said that you had a partner or no?
Yeah, married.
Correct. That's what I thought. I assume male, but I don't want to fully assume. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
What is it that you look in a partner? Is it the fancy car and the fancy job? Like, obviously you need to have a job because they need to make money because mama ain't bringing home no bum. But, what is it that you, and then I'm going to talk to, and Spencer can talk. What is it about you and what do you look for in an individual? And I'm not telling you to gas up your partner, but like, what are healthy things for people to look for in partners that either you are attracted to or just what everyone should be attracted to?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's really hard because I think there is like what you think you're doing on the surface in a relationship and what is going on under the surface and like what you're subconsciously seeking. Right? Like
Yes.
you could think like you're doing the healthiest thing ever and then you're like, "Oh my god." I'm like, "This is like a trauma response." So it's really tricky, but I will say that um I think like a healthy relationship is like coming back to the movie, like both having your own identity separate from each other and like feeling not feeling like, "Oh, I would die if I wasn't with this person." Like I could be without this person. I want to be with this person, but if I wasn't with them, I would be okay because I have me. Like, and I know
Definitely.
that's like easier, so much easier said than done. And I've made a lot of mistakes, but I think that that's something that we're not really taught and is not portrayed in movies. And um, yeah, it shouldn't be like this romantic, like proposal that's like like that stuff I think is just not important. It's not what it's about. That's a distraction that's coming from society. And it's not what's gonna make a healthy relationship.
So yeah, you talked a lot about like healthy relationships, healthy intimacy, making sure that right, both of you, Spencer even brought it up, different identities that you want to be with each other, not that you have to be or that you need to be. So we see Ken become right very suicidal in that scene and like want to jump, and then he goes to kiss her. It's always funny when my couples like the one person will be nice and they're like, oh, they want to date me or marry. I'm like, no, they're just being nice to you, dude. Like, calm the fuck down. Like, they can be nice to you without actually wanting to have sex with you. You sure? She flirted with me. No, she just literally helped you out with your homework, dumbass.
I literally don't even think like they're flirting with me. I'm just like, oh yeah, cool. Like I actually miss cues when they are flirting with me because I'm just like automatically like, they probably don't.
I've done it a lot too.
Yeah.
Or I'll flirt with people not ever actually wanting to push anything. I just like to have fun and like talk shit. And they'd be like, so when are we going out on a date? And I'm like, the hell you talking about?
Who are you?
I ain't dating your ass. I only date people with hunchback and webbed toes.
Delicious. That live in a bell tower.
You look like Shrek. I got you.
You from France? Sorry.
Do you cook your beans on the grill?
What does that mean?
The beans
I
don't.
know.
Beans don't burn on the grill. Fish don't fry in the kitchen.
The dumbest shit I've ever heard.
I've never been in a healthy relationship. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
What? What?
Yeah. The person with as many stuffed animals as me is deeply satisfied.
Yes. You got a lot going on there.
I wanted to bring some of this up because when I'm looking for humans, whether it be friends or romantic partners, I think you find out what you're attracted to throughout life. I think at one phase in life, you could be attracted to this and then they can grow and change. That can also morph and go back. Usually I love being around folks that are a little bit more masculine. And by that, I mean, I grew up in a brown family with a brown mother that's very masculine and she runs shit and like, you're terrified of her. And so most of my partners have been, black or brown women. They're a little bit terrifying, Hey, I like to slap around a little bit now.
Hey, I like a little fear.
Yeah, I want someone that can beat my ass and hug me.
You gonna kill me in my sleep? I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
I
I want you to pour some hot butter on me.
Oh no.
She said, "Oh no, it's
always back to butter."
I'm not a dinner roll. I'm more like a muffin.
Big muffin.
That's a big muffin, girl.
That's a big muffin,
That's
boy.
a motherfucker Michelin man. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, damn.
That motherfucker boy. I say that because I want to preface this. One time I did fall in love with an individual that was very kind and very sweet. I've told Spence about it, told many other students about it, that I didn't even want to swear anymore because they weren't comfortable with swearing. But their humanity, I was like, oh my God, women could look like this and be like this and I could be attracted to them. And after a time, I found out that it was not only these certain personality traits, but also people's humanity and their kindness and their empathy. This person wanted me to be, I wanted to be a better person because of this person. I was like, my God. They were magnificent in so many ways. Other things happen. I don't believe in long distance, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, right? Shit didn't work out. You can be attracted to many different things in life, and you can lose many things in life. And to be with someone, to love someone, means that you will undoubtedly lose them. Whether you get sick, they get sick, maybe you break up, maybe you move apart. Things you will lose. They will lose you, or you will lose them. And I think love and finding the right partner is making sure that you're not completely devastated to where you don't want to live. And in saying that, if I was to lose any of my close friends, it would be very hard to move forward. So why am I saying all this? It's hard to know what you would do or how you would react in these certain situations. But to do what Ken did when it's not even reciprocal, the love, and it's kind of stalkery, and now you're like negging them, I don't think that's going to land you the girl. And if negging does land you the girl, or a man, or human, or furry, if it lands you the guinea pig fox.
Oh my God.
It lands you Miss Piggy. I'm a pivot.
Yep.
Then they probably got some issues going on where they're accepting you to be this type of person and treat them poorly and abuse. Maybe you got some shit. Maybe they got some shit. And this sounds like a really narcissistic, maybe like borderline-y relationship. Be very cautious. So what fosters this love and growth and connection? The moment that they had at the end was magnificent, and then he takes it too far. And it's time for Ken to figure out who he is and what he wants. And I think that's what we're all trying to do every day. I guarantee you right now, Jessica's got no fucking clue fully who they are and what they want. I'm teasing you. But like, we're all still growing. We're all still very young. And we're probably, hopefully, we're all going to live like another 30, 40, 50, 60 years. The person that we are today is going to be vastly different than tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you might change what you like or what you don't like. And that's okay. You don't have to fully know who the hell you are or what job you want. Jesus, that's a tough one.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's a good point, because that like identity isn't static, right? Like it changes throughout the lifespan. And that's why like people I've worked with like high schoolers who are thinking about college and career, and they feel so much pressure to figure out what they want to do. And it's like, why do you need to figure out what you want to do? Like, you don't have to. It's fine. Like, you can't, and you can figure out what you want to do and then change it later. They make these decisions like their life or death, what college you go to. It's like, it doesn't matter.
It's crazy. I'm like, you ain't even got no facial hair, boy. You mean tell me you know what you're going to do for the next 60 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
Girl, you still wearing heels. You haven't given up.
Where's
yet.
your Birks?
Yeah, where's your Birks? Well, as soon as you switch to Birks, now we know you're getting into your personality.
Here we go.
Here we go. This is it. This is it.
Defined by your Birks.
Yep, that's right.
Hey, shout out to Spence for buying me the nerdiest, most autistic Crocs that there are. And I wore them to a party the other day.
Yeah, you did.
And then I went and worked out afterwards in them. I was like, this feels weird.
Hey, you dogged them out when you first got them. You dogged out those Crocs. And now everybody like, well, you like Pokemon and Crocs?
Yep. I've worn them to do yard work in. I worn them to fucking shovel snow.
That's not
I've
smart.
Been to a party. I've been to CVS. I've been to the gym.
CVS.
Been CVS. Yeah. I don't go many places, motherfucker.
I apparently not.
Been to the
Very
turtle lair in
extravagant
Fortnite. All right. We got one last scene. And like I said, I knew this was a longer pod, but I wanted to spend time on it because there were so many magnificent parts. And this was second biggest movie of the year, Spence? It was one of the top 5 of the year.
I think it might have been first.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, because Oppenheimer didn't make as much.
Okay.
So I think it might have been top movie of
Look
the
at
year.
that. Women supporting women, Jessica. And you said y'all hate each other.
Yeah. We do.
Is that a real thing that women hate each other? Please go into this. Educate this poor lonely boy.
You know it is.
Well, because like women internalize the patriarchy too. So like when I watch shows, like my husband will say like you always hate on the female character and you feel sympathy for the man. And I'm like, oh yeah, I do that. And it's like it seeps into our subconscious and we're all like even I remember when I was like working like a while back when I used to work in the group homes, like I would treat the men differently. Not my clients. I'm talking about like coworkers, like the men
Sure.
differently than the women. God.
Fuck you.
Do it. Oh.
It just is more instinctually you'll be mean to a woman over a man. Maybe that's like a personal issue that I struggle with, but I think it's a thing.
Is a thing.
It's definitely a thing.
It's definitely a thing. For folks of color, we do the same. That's why we say not all skin folk are kinfolk. Not everyone that has the same aligned identities. You're gonna kind of shit on them. I ain't gonna lie. When I see other folks of color, specifically they may look like me or just other men in like mental health or therapy, like I'll be really hard on them. Like, nah, man, you fucking shit up. You messing stuff up for like me. Like you don't understand. Like there's very few of us, and like I'm gonna be hard on you because I have certain expectations. And you saying dumb stuff or you acting a certain way, and you're being wrong or toxic, right? So I'll be a little bit tougher, and then other folks are like, "Oh, I didn't get away with it." I have certain expectations for my students of color. It's known and studied that medical professionals, healthcare professionals, are harder on their black and brown clients because they can take it. But then we treat white-bodied individuals like these kid gloves, and I've done it myself. I'm like, "Oh, she crying." Oh. Brown person in there crying. Suck it up, Betty. Gomez.
Betty Gomez.
Well, Betty's
That's
a white
a name.
name, so I decided to go Gomez.
You messed up with the name.
I did. You know, the dyslexia.
Betty Gomez. There we go.
You know,
some hot sauce
Betty.
on it. Some Cholula.
Because all brown women got to be spicy, huh? Oh, okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. There's so many bland brown women out there.
Girl, you're bland. You must be autistic. Jessica does not agree with any of these statements. She is not laughing at these statements.
No
comment.
She is silent and not giggling at all.
I plead the fifth.
Fifth, sixth, seventh. I plead it all.
I plead them all 10 of them. I think you are right. I don't think it's just you. I think it was a really good observation by your partner. Why do we do things like that? Is it jealousy? Is it resentment? Is it maybe that we can't do the things that they're doing? Is it because they're setting a bad example? Is it because we're judging their bodies and looks and appearance? Maybe their colloquiums? Like, I just don't. Why do we as humans do this? We're so fucked up. Yeah.
Well, it's society's fault, right? Not like any individual person. Like we're just a part of the system. We're like players in the system. And I think like I look at white women like automatically, like I'll judge white women harshly because they're white, especially now. Because I'm like, oh, thanks a lot for fucking it up for me. Like, I can't control this.
Way to let the cat out of the bag, you morons.
Yeah. Way to be racist, you piece of shit. Thank you.
This is your fault.
Thank you, Gertrude.
You could have just went back to Betty.
No, I could have. Betty's a good white name. That's
Gertrude.
Betty's a good Christian white name.
That's
Gertrude.
an old white woman named Gertrude.
She gonna beat some people of color.
Jeez.
Oh my God, that was my grandma's name.
Well, she beat some black people up, didn't she?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
We're gonna do a pivot. we gonna do a pivot.
She's behind the hose. All right. Anyways,
Shout out Gertie.
Shout out Gertie.
Yeah.
Grandma Gertie. Hey.
Yep. That's her name.
Power to the people. All right. Anyways, anywho, did we even get to the Ruth scene? Did we even get
I
to
don't
it?
think. Oh, okay. So
Yeah, you pivoted so far from that.
I did.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Oh no,
Exactly.
We're talking about how we can't live with or without white women.
Yeah.
Let's just end the show now because we're just
okay. Last scene. I think it's just magnificent as a counselor, as a therapist, to guide someone through that, finding their identity. That's why I wanted to put that clip in there. It's extremely difficult. It's scary. But when you get them to take that breath that she takes, and that breath always comes with a tear, especially when they've been anxious and OCD and really revved up, and they get them that first session and they finally were able to speak to someone for the first time. And then you're like, breathe, kid, it's fine. Then they cry. And then we start to do the real work and healing after that. This entire movie is a story arc about someone going through the journey of being ignorant and blind, falling apart, and then coming back to reality and to live their truth. And I think she goes to the gynecologist at the end. That was the thing, right? She's like becoming this full, real person, real woman. The real woman, I would assume, has a lot of things to do and to work on. So, and a lot of dudes, hey, FY dudes, get your prostate checked out, you bastard. Yeah, she's going to gynecologist, getting her stuff checked out. Dudes, check out your health. We're dying too much from cancer.
Ken.
Go to the doctor. We don't go to the doctor. We don't do, especially brown dudes. We don't black dudes. Go to the fucking doctor, you assholes.
Yeah. Like, don't just like go to the doctor just for that. Like, go to the doctor in general.
Get your blood pressure, your don't sugars.
Just, like, hey, doc.
Or like my doctor. He's like, you've been waiting for this all year. I was like, you're a perv, man. That's what he said to me. You've been waiting all year for me, haven't you? I'm like, are you supposed to talk to men like this?
Your doctor's just like, you're not supposed to bite your lip as I'm doing the procedure.
I told him I was going to have a piece of paper that falls out that says, go fuck yourself.
There's a piece of paper that says, don't. Don't. He's like, should I?
We're being like serious though, man. Go get your checkups. I love that it ended with a checkup.
Isn't it like 30, 35, something like that? Were you supposed to get your prostate checked?
That also just blood pressure. I was ignorant and didn't take my blood pressure medicine for probably 10 years. And then finally another male friend that's a doctor is like, you're going to die of a heart attack. And you're going to fuck your whole family, and your father and your brother are going to miss out, and your best friends. And it's like, well, I guess I'm going to take my meds.
Yep. Look at you. Now look at you taking your meds and almost passing out on the podcast.
The fuck's the point of taking them?
I don't know. I don't know.
Jessica, any seasoning, any sauce that you'd like to put on this last scene, or just the podcast in general today?
Well, I was gonna say, I feel like this is important, but like the idea when she goes to the gynecologist at the end, and you were talking about like being harder on your black and brown students, that like research shows that like doctors treat black or brown women like they have a higher pain threshold than white women. So don't use a white doctor. I don't know, maybe I'll say that differently.
No.
Wait.
Leave it there.
You went the wrong place there. Have a doctor that is understanding or affirming or an ally to individuals that are black and brown bodies. Yep.
There you go. That's
what?
very well said. Very well said. Sometimes when I get nervous, I'll just say like exactly how I.
Well, welcome to our show. So.
FYI.
Yeah.
You might be autistic if you keep doing that. So.
Welcome to the club.
No,
am I autistic? I could be.
Well, you're definitely anxious. So.
It's anxiety. Yeah.
It is. You've actually done very well. I've enjoyed you.
Yeah.
You've dropped dimes too. Yeah.
Yeah. Real good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dimes. Now that I actually remembered who you are.
Yeah. I wrote a note.
Imagine I never
Doesn't
told
have
you.
memes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not my future BFF.
I think it was, were you thinking, wasn't it Dr. Funnies that had the memes?
No, that was another person. They are coming on the podcast in like 2 weeks. Literally, both of you booked at the same exact time. I looked through your Instagram the other day, though, and for some reason I didn't scroll down because I was like editing and putting things in place and like tagging all your stuff. Again, that's my bad. It's someone else that's doing some other type of therapy things, whatever.
No, I don't care.
I am super glad that you came on. I'm glad that we finally got to Barbie. Many different topics. We could have spent probably hours on every small little one that we talked about. The big thing is, representation, understanding what patriarchy is for men and for women, understanding what these gendered expectations are, understanding what these societal things that Jessica kept bringing up, whether it comes colors or shoes, dress, the way you present yourself, like all these things, folks that are neurodivergent, folks that are autistic are ingesting all day, every day. And we're trying to find the right algorithm to be the proper person in society. And it can be super overwhelming for everyone, even neurotypicals. But for our population, my God, it's too much. And this is why many folks are like, I don't co-op any of this shit. I'm going to do me. So I'm glad that we did this.
Me too.
Yeah. Spence, any seasoning?
Nope. I think that's all. Actually, Jessica, do you want to give out your socials and anything that you got coming up?
Sure. I'll plug away.
Plug.
So my Instagram is School Psych Mind. I'm actually in the process of forming my own coaching and consulting business. Yay.
Nice.
I just got my
Congrats.
LLC. Like it's in the process, in the works right now.
Very nice.
So I'm probably going to be launching a new Instagram soon and getting my website finalized and all that fun stuff. Besides that, I'm just gonna do regular stuff.
All right.
You're going to be a person.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm doing things.
Well, I'm doing things. Hey, well, this is what I want you to do. I want you to look at your partner tonight, and I want you to, hey, we're going to butter you up tonight, honey.
Don't say that. Please don't say that.
It's already been said.
It's already been said.
No.
It's already been done.
I already buttered you up like a biscuit. Like,
Just gonna dab the dinner roll like how you dab the pizza grease off.
I don't even know what this like is.
No one knows.
I have a lot of weird kinks that aren't kinks. They're just
Apparently
really bad
with food.
visuals.
Yep. It's all right. On that lovely note, thank you so much for joining us, Jessica. Love to have you back sometime to go through this weirdness again.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you. Besides that, hey, go check out our new merch. There it is. New merch. I always get that wrong. New merch that we just dropped on our website. Pretty cool stuff. Just DSP diagonally. That's it. That's all you need. That's all you need, really. Yeah. We have a whole different colors and different styles as well. Shirts, tees, all of it. So go check those out, and then also go check out Toy Toys. Get your discount if you go to the description down below, as well as our other great affiliates. And then soon, probably after this, we'll be affiliated with BetterHelp. So we are going. Yes.
That's huge.
Yes. So we sign up for that because we want money. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'm Spencer. That's Nas. This is the Different Spectrums podcast.
All right, everyone. Much love, and remember, take care of yourselves.
Or don't.
That's completely up to you. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.